Hello, 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 hello. I hope you are well. Thank you for joining me. It is lovely to see you. This is Strategic Chats. This is my live Q&A. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining me. I'm just going to kick us off on some of the other platforms that we are on as well, so that we are all okay everywhere and everything makes sense. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that have not been on one of these sessions before, let me just pull up the comments as well. For those of you who have not been on one of these sessions before, this is Strategic Chats. This is my live Q&A session. So any questions that you have about your business or indeed about mine, then please do feel free to come and ask. I'm just going to, I just need to log in here to be able to pull up my chat box as well. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I do, as always, appreciate everyone who tunes in and any questions that you ask. This is, as I said, Strategic Chats. My live Q&A session happens Thursdays at 3 p.m. UK. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in terms of time zone. Lovely to see you, lovely to have you on. This is Strategic Chats. This is where you get to ask me any questions that you may have about your business and get my opinion. I have been running a business for 11 years now and mostly online over that time period. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have around running a business. Let's have a look. What have we got coming in? Costa's asking if I have any fillings. No, I have no dental fillings at all. But thanks for asking. Lovely, Jamie. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me again. I do appreciate you hopping on as always. And if you do have any questions, please do also let me know in the comments. Thank you for the loves, the shares, the hearts, the follows, all those good things. So this session is dictated by you and the questions that you ask. So anything that you have, as I say, about your own business or about mine, I am happy to answer those. But it is led by your questions. I have nothing pre-prepared for this, nothing that I am planning on sharing with you other than answering your questions. So that is why I am here. So please do let me know what questions you have. What are my top 5 enjoys in life? Good question. So my top 5 enjoys, one has to be my children, of course. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they are just incredible little people. So my children, and grouped in with that, of course, my incredible husband as well. So the kind of family aspect is certainly the top of my top 5s. My business also is in the top 5, without a doubt. I love running a business. I love what I do. I love helping and supporting other business owners. So that's definitely in my top 5 of enjoys. Number 3, I think, is probably running. I love running. I get a huge buzz out of exercising, getting out into the hills and running. So that is probably number 3. Number 4, another top one of my enjoys is learning. I love to learn new things. I love absorbing lots of information and then implementing it. So that is number 4. And then number 5, what is number 5? Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'm just going to say chocolate. In all honesty, that is one of my top enjoys in life, is being able to eat chocolate. That has to be on the list. So thank you for that fun question. That was enjoyable to answer. I appreciate that. So for those of you tuning in, for those of you, whichever platform you are on at the moment, if you are watching, this is Strategic Chats. That is my Q&A session. So therefore, this session is dictated by you. Typically, I will answer any questions about business, either your business or my own. I'm happy to answer those. So please do let me know your questions in the comments. Jamie's saying I'm not the only one with chocolate on that list. Thank you, Jamie. I feel good about that. I feel good that that's not just me that has that as well. Excellent, excellent stuff. Do we have any more questions that have come through? Please do let me know anything, as I say, about your business or my own. I'm happy to answer those. I cannot do anything about this stuff to you, and then you add it, and then you get some food stuff. I don't know what that means. Sorry, Saint Eb. Boy, I'm not sure what that means. If you want to rephrase that, then I can certainly answer it, but I have no idea what your question means, unfortunately. So do let me know. As I say, this is Strategic Chats, 3 p.m. UK time on Thursdays. This is a regular slot that I have to answer any questions that you may have about your business, or indeed about mine. This session is nothing if you do not ask me any questions. It will get very boring because it will just involve me asking you to ask you questions, to answer me questions. So please do come and do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to be, twiddling my thumbs during this session, and that is not valuable to anybody. So this is your opportunity to get free coaching and support from me in this session. For those of you that don't know me, so you're curious about where my, where my areas of expertise may lie. My name is Annette Ferguson. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I'm a chartered accountant, certified profit first professional, income strategist, and profit mentor. And I help business owners take home more money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. Of course, at this point in time, for many businesses, that can be incredibly challenging at the same time too, with everything that we have going on in the world. I have been running my own business now for 11 years. I run my business from home. My team are all based remotely. So when this hit us, actually, we really had no change to how we operated as a business, because we were already operating virtually as a business. We were already using technology as a business and really had not much difference. Our clients are also located all over the UK and in some instances the world, and therefore we are used to communicating using Zoom and all those good things. So for us, there really wasn't much of a change when the pandemic hit in terms of our business operations and how our business operated as well. So thank you everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I very much do appreciate it. Jamie says, let's see if anyone asks anything. If not, I will pop in some questions. Well, Jamie, you are more than welcome to. We are slow on the questions today, so you're more than welcome to answer any questions that, or rather ask any questions that you may have, and I will happily answer those. I do love to help and support business owners, and I love the strategic side of business as well. I geek out on social media too. That is something that I love doing. From pretty much the start of my business, I was using social media. I did a little bit of local networking in the beginning, but I was doing a lot of stuff on Facebook and Twitter and all those kinds of things. So I'm very used to operating online and operating a business through social media. Jamie says, one of the top things I said I like to do is learn. Is there anything I'm finding especially interesting to learn about at the moment? Lovely question, Jamie. Actually, at the moment, what I am doing is I am reading a book which is about optimal weight whilst running and competing competitive runners basically, and how they manage their bodies during competition time. So I'm finding that incredibly interesting. Of course, that's not on the business side, but I am finding that incredibly interesting to learn about at the moment. I'm also always keeping up to date with kind of new social media stuff. So I'm constantly learning about that as well. That is something that I love to learn about as well. And I typically always have some kind of business book on the go at any one point in time. The one I currently have, do I have it here? The one I'm just about to start is called Retention Point. I haven't started reading it yet, but I have been told very good things about it. So I'm looking forward to diving into that over the weekend as well. I'm going to be starting to read that too. So yeah, that is what I am learning about at the moment. Bruce McKay is asking a non-business question, saying, is nudist gaining more commonplace in the UK? Not that I'm aware of, Bruce. I certainly haven't seen any evidence of that, but hey ho, who knows? Certainly not in the circles that I mix in, Bruce. I've certainly not seen that at all. Anyway, so yeah, Jamie, that's I typically have kind of learning in lots of different areas of my life at the same time too. So yeah, that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I like to do. Bodywork Sport, Paolo, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me as well. James, this is an open Q&A session, so we are speaking about business. Any questions that you may have about your own business, if you run a business, or indeed my business, that is what we are talking about today on this session. So it is a open Q&A session. That you are more than welcome to ask any questions on that you may have. So I do, as I say, always appreciate everyone who is joining us. Do let me know if there are any other questions that anybody else might have on today's session. This, of course, is a session that I run every Thursday at 3 p.m. So, so you know, I will be back every Thursday at 3. So if you do have questions that come up between now and next week that you want to ask me, do make sure you write those down and hop on to do that as well. Jamie's saying, can you imagine certain business sectors expanding or perhaps shrinking in the future? Yeah, Jamie, I think that, you know, of course, with increased technology, we're going to see shifts in certain sectors and certain businesses and business models as well. There also, I think, certainly in the short term, is going to be a leaning towards people wanting to do more experiential things, things that they may have missed out on over the last few months. So I think that's going to be an interesting area to watch once we are able to not social distance anymore, what the experience market is going to do. That's going to be interesting to watch. There's also, as I say, it's going to be interesting to watch certain industries where AI, for example, can be much more highly implemented than it is now. As technology increases, we may see a decrease in those types of businesses and sectors if they don't expand and move with the times, if they don't morph and tweak themselves into areas where they are providing advisory services. So for example, bookkeeping is potentially one of those. So with increased AI capabilities, we are likely to see that bookkeepers who are standard kind of data entry type people, they're not really going to be needed very much. But what is going to be needed is people to understand those numbers, people to help advise on those numbers and that side of things. So I think we're going to see a move away from the people and the industries that are reliant on, you know, people just keying stuff in, as we get an increase in automation, increase in technology, but moving towards that more individual advisory type stuff instead. I think that's going to be something that we're going to see. Jamie is saying AI is something that AI is something I could get involved in. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that actually impacts us in the future as well. Dimitri, thank you for tuning in and joining me. Eloisa, always lovely to see you on these sessions. I do always appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for joining me so much. Eloisa, for those of you that don't know, is on my team. And so it is lovely to see her beautiful face hop onto my sessions as well. Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. AI will assist, but not replace specialist analysis. Exactly. And so people who are, people who don't have that sort of specialist analysis capability at the moment, that is where I would advise people to be learning about, to be upskilling, because I think that's going to be really important going forward as well. Martin, hello, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you hopping on and joining. This is an open Q&A session. So any questions that you may have about your business or about mine, please do feel free to ask. That is what we are doing in this session. So please do ask any questions that you may have. Hi, Mike. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for doing that. So this, as I said, is Strategic Chats, your open Q&A session. This session is completely led by the questions that you ask. What is my business? I run a chartered accounting firm. I am a chartered accountant. I am a profit first professional, income strategist, and profit mentor. So I run a UK-based accounting firm. I have been doing that for the last 11 years, primarily operating online as well. So that is what I do. Paolo is saying, how do you, hi, do you know about Open Personal Studio? Not sure what you mean by that, Paolo. Open Personal Studio. I've not heard those words strung together before. Is it, what type of studio is it? What is it linked to? Let me know, and I will attempt to answer your question as well. Jamie's saying, I studied AI at uni. I've also taught myself a bit about neurology. Well, that's going to be really interesting, Jamie. I think going forward, certainly, I think there's going to be some interesting stuff for you potentially to use those skills as well. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Oh, personal training. Do I know? Ah, got you. There's a typo. That makes sense. Yeah, I do. We have a number of personal trainer clients, Paolo. So yeah, we do have a number of clients who do personal training in a studio setting and also operate micro gyms as well. So yeah, we do have a number of people that do that. So if you have questions about that side of things, then please do ask. I'm happy to answer those as well. Okay, there we go. Let's sort that out. Wonderful. So Strategic Chats, my Q&A session. Please do ask me any questions that you might have about your business or my business. That is exactly why I am here. This session is completely led by you. I have no pre-prepared content for this session. It is all about the questions that you want to ask and have answered. I am happy to do those. Anything, as I say, that you might have about your business or mine, happy to cover off. So please do let me know if you have any of those as well. If you do not, then I will sign off. But I'm happy to hang on longer if you do as well. So please do let me know. This session happens every Thursday at 3 p.m. UK. On top of that, I also do sessions Mondays to Thursdays at 11 a.m. on whichever channel you are tuning into at the moment. And those sessions are AMs with a net. Those sessions are UK business updates that I do. Career Dad is saying, what drives customers to me, and has that differed from the start 11 years ago? Yeah, it has a bit actually. So in the beginning, at the very beginning, I used to do quite a bit of local networking, and I did a lot on Twitter as well. They were the two places 11 years ago where I primarily got clients from. Over the years, that has changed. You know, my life has changed. I've had 2 children in that time. So local networking completely fell away from me. I do no local networking at all anymore, and I haven't done for a number of years. Now everything I do is either social media based. So whether that be through my own channels or being interviewed on other people's channels, through lives, through podcasts, those kinds of things, or referrals and word of mouth from both current clients and other kind of contacts and things that I have. So that is how clients come to me now, is through social media and through referrals from existing clients primarily. Whereas, of course, in the beginning, I didn't have, social media was not nearly as advanced as it is now. And at the beginning, I had no clients. So like that was not a channel for me at the beginning, which is why I started off with face-to-face networking, and Twitter as well supported it at that point in time. Do I know of any startups needing support or investment? Well, when it comes to financial support, many of course do need financial support, but you know, actual other support, then again, you know, information and things, there are many startups that do need that. My thoughts on zero Chanel, we are Zero Gold certified partners, so we love Zero. Zero is really important part of our business. It's a really important tool for us. So we are big fans of Zero here. Career Dancing, amazing, thank you. I hate to sell, so grow organically through content and word of mouth, but it's slow. It is slow. And in all honesty, there's no real quick fix. But remember that all that selling is providing a solution to a problem that your customers or clients have already indicated they have. That's why they're looking for the solution. So selling does not have to be spammy or sparmy or sleazy or any of those words. Selling is serving people. And when you're serving people, then that is in itself selling. So I agree that when you do things organically, it can be slow, it can feel slow, but it's also a really, to do that through content and word of mouth is a robust way to build the business. As long as you're serving and delivering when you get your clients and customers on board, then that's really important as well. So I hope that helps, Career Dad, but it sounds like you're doing the right thing. It sounds like you're doing the right thing. Let's have a look and see what questions that we might have. Mac is saying, why are you not replying to my message? Mac, I can't see a comment from you at all. That's the first one I can see. I can see that you've sent a request to be on this live, which I'm not letting other people into this live. So if you post in the chat what your question is, then I'm happy to answer those. Whilst I'm on live, I cannot see any direct messages that you send me. So if you want to pop your question on in the comments, then I'm more than happy to answer those as well. Mimi is saying, what do I think the outcome of COVID-19 will be? Well, in health terms, no idea. I'm not a doctor. I can't comment on that. In economic terms, of course, we've already in the UK got borrowing higher than GDP. We are already in a recession. We are already heading for record levels of unemployment. Therefore, the economics don't look so good. They look quite dire, in fact, unfortunately, and it looks like we may be in a recession. There's lots of different views on this. My view is that we'll be in recession for the next 2 to 3 years. I would love, by the way, to be proved wrong on that. I would love for that not to be the case, but the data is not looking so good on it. So I think economically, we're not going to be in a good place, in all honesty. And then in the UK, we have Brexit as well at the end of the year, and that looks to dent the economy further as well from the data that we're seeing. So that's tricky too. Martin saying, what are your thoughts on Velocity Banking using debt as leverage, i.e. credit cards to pay down a mortgage? Typically, I wouldn't agree with credit cards to pay down a mortgage because your credit cards are likely to have a much higher interest rate than your mortgage. So that would seem not a good way around to do it. Now, paying off debt with other debt, not the most ideal situation, but if you are in a place where you can consolidate debt to pay off lots of other debt, that can often be good as long as you work out what your interest rates are and whether that's actually going to work for you or not, then it can be a positive thing at the same time, Martin. So it's just working out what that balance is and making sure that that's going to work for you. That's kind of where I sit on that. What else are we seeing? Do you think things should open up as soon as they have been recently? Says Ashoka Skywalker. This is a very difficult one. I'm a chartered accountant. I am not a scientist. I do not, of course, have all the data. I have the information that we are provided, but I do not have all the information there. What I can say is I am uncomfortable with it. I certainly won't be going to the pub on Saturday. Of course, I live in Scotland, so our pubs are not, well, beer gardens are, but inside pubs are not open this weekend. but that's kind of my answer. Is I certainly, I mean, I haven't been out to a retail shop since they reopened, so that's where I sit on that, really. But that's my own personal view, you know. That is just that's just how I feel about it. I know many people that feel differently too, so that's okay as well. I mean, I think that a lot of the stuff that they've done in reopening is an attempt to get the economy going. I would have liked if they had been honest about that situation, and that actually the purpose of reopening was to get the, you know, be more clear that actually maybe it's not the best thing from a health perspective, but it is from an economic perspective. I think if we'd had that messaging, actually it might have been a little bit easier to take. That's my view on that one. At S80, hello, thank you for tuning in, thank you for joining me, and thank you for saying hi. I do massively appreciate all the love, the hearts, the thumbs up, the shares, the follows, all those kind of good things. I massively appreciate those. So thank you so much for all of those that are coming through, whichever platform you are on. Ashoka Skywalker saying, how did I get into accounting? I actually didn't want to be an accountant. That was never my plan. When I was at school, I knew I wanted to run a business, but that's as far as I'd got. I didn't know what I wanted that business to look like or anything like that, but I knew I wanted to run a business. So I was advised that, you know, when I was looking at what to do in university and things, I knew I wanted to go to university. So when I was, well, people were speaking to me and they were saying, what are you going to study at university? And I was going, I don't really know. The advice was, well, why don't you study accounting? Because if you want to run a business, it will be a great basis for you. It'll be really good to have a really clear idea of money and finances and accounting doing that. So that made a lot of sense to me. And so I did that. I went to university. I studied accounting and finance at university. And I went on to do my professional chartered accounting qualifications for the same reason, that it was going to be a good grounding and a good basis for me. Whilst I was doing my chartered accounting qualifications, I actually qualified with a small firm, a 4-partner firm, dealing with very similar clients to the ones I am now, small owner managed businesses and limited companies up to about £10 million turnover. So very similar client base. And whilst I was there, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And so, you know, that was great for me. After I qualified, I tried my hand in banking for a little while, in investment banking, worked in Goldman Sachs, I worked in oil and gas, I worked for BP, I worked for Centrica for a while. And each time I had different roles, I just was not 100% satisfied with what I was doing, what that looked like, all those kinds of things. So basically, I was looking for, okay, what business am I going to do? What does this look like? And then I kind of thought, well, actually, you know what? Why don't I set up an accounting firm? I loved the work I was doing when I was doing my training. Therefore, actually, this makes sense. So that's exactly how I ended up running an accounting firm, how I ended up getting into accounting, and why I'm still in this sphere. And the thing is, the stuff that I love has changed over the years, because it used to be the number crunching and all that kind of stuff that I love. But now the stuff that I love is that client interaction, learning about the client's businesses and supporting clients' businesses as well. So that is, that's what I like doing, and that's how I got into it. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. What are we seeing here? Running an online coaching business and considering the profit first method. I was wondering what percentages you advise for that industry. I can pop you across those. I can't see who is asked that because of the way my system is set up here. Hang on, let me go into, because I think you are in the Uncover Wealth community, whoever it is you are at, whoever it is that is asking. I think that's where you're watching it from. Let me just pull that up just now, because if you are, I can direct you straight to what you need to do. There we go. Yes, Tillian, thank you for asking. So Tillian is saying, I am running an online coaching business and I'm considering the profit first method. I was wondering what percentages you'd advise for that industry. For those of you that are on this session and you don't know what Profit First is a book by Mike Malkowitz. This is the book here. Highly recommend it. It is a book which basically speaks about cash management and how to manage cash in a business. If you have not read it, I advise you to go to annetteandco.co.uk/PF book and get a copy of the PDF, because it's a great, great book. And what Tilly, in that book, basically, it advises on percentages that you should set aside for various things. So how much of your revenue should be profit, how much should be owners pay, how much should be tax, how much should be operating expenses, etc. So Tillian's question is around that, and Tillian is asking what percentages I'd advise for that industry. Now, Tillian, you are asking from watching this inside the Uncover Wealth community. That is my private community on Facebook. So by the way, if you are not already a member there, do make sure you come over to Facebook, type Uncover Wealth community in the search bar and join us. Tillian, inside the units in the Uncover Wealth community, you will find one of the units which is called Profit First, and in there I have specific allocation percentages for different industries, and UK online businesses is one of those that's in there. So you can hop in there and you'll be able to see that there as well. I will also tag you in that after this as well, once this broadcast is done too. So you should be able to see that in there. Being Money is saying how to deal with EMIs. I don't know what EMIs is. I have no idea what EMIs is. Does anyone know what EMIs stands for? Let me know. Because I do not know what EMIs stands for. So if you do know, let me know. If you can let me know, Being Monies, then that I am happy to answer that question, but I don't know what EMIS is, so I cannot answer that question, unfortunately. This is Strategic Chats. This is where I answer any questions that you may have about either your business or my business, and I'm happy to answer those. So that is what we are covering today. Any more questions, do let me know in the comments. Do let me know. Hey, Elle on Periscope, thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. So if you have any more questions, please do let me know in the comments. As I say, I am more than happy to answer those as they come around. And of course, this session happens every single Thursday at 3 p.m. So do make sure that you pop that in your diaries so that you can tune in and join me as well. Oh, Tillian, you say you found it. Wonderful. That's great to know, Tillian. So anyone who is in the Uncover Wealth community that is listening to this as well, you can go to the units and you can get specific. There are some sectors that I have laid out there with specific percentages that you can go to too. And like I say, if you are watching on any other platform and you are not already a member of the Uncover Wealth community, why not? That's craziness. Come in and join us. It is my private community on Facebook. It's completely free to join as well. I would love to have you in there. You just need to head to Facebook and type Uncover Wealth Community into the search bar. You'll have a couple of questions to answer, and then you can hit join and join me there. No, I am not a teacher. I am a chartered accountant. I am CEO of Annette & Co, UK-based accounting firm. I am not a teacher at all. Elle on Periscope is giving me some innuendos about business there, which made me giggle. That was what the little laugh was about there. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. What services do I offer? Let me see who is asking that question. Tillian is asking that question again. Tillian, we offer everything from the bog standard kind of compliance work, annual accounts, corporation tax returns, etc., through to bookkeeping, VAT returns. But where we like to spend most of our time is working with clients looking forward into the future. So what does their business look like now? Where do they want to get it to? And actually, how do we map out a financial plan, a profit plan to do that? And how do we help and support you to implement it as well? So we look at that with a Profit First head on as well as looking at it overall when it comes to the vision that you have for your business as well. So we offer basically a pseudo FD, pseudo financial controller type role for our clients, regardless of what revenue level your business currently is. We have businesses up to around about the £10 million turnover, and we also have complete startups who are just coming into revenue generation as well. So we operate across the board there as well. There's also going to be some other incredibly exciting things launching in September, but I'm going to keep that on the hush for now. But that is, there is some more stuff coming in September as well in terms of the services and programs that we will offer to our wonderful customers and clients. So that is where they are. Have a good day to you too, Elle. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I just bashed my elbow off the table. Thank you for joining me. I do very much appreciate it. This is Strategic Chats. This is your live Q&A session. So thank you for tuning in. I do, as always, appreciate your time. I know it's incredibly precious, so I thank you for spending some of it with me. You can next catch me live at 11 a.m. on Monday. I will be back wherever you are watching this, so you can catch me there. I look forward to seeing you there as well. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have an incredible weekend when it arrives, and I will speak to you all really soon. Take care, everyone.